All right, everyone, and welcome into another episode of Wagers on Campus, week 5, where we are going to be talking college football. And thanks for tuning in and checking us out. I'm Mayor, and I am here again with Xander.
Hello.
Xander, as we dive into week 5 after your weird hello, where do you want to start? Because this week of college football might be the best week of the season.
Yeah, absolutely. Happy to be back. A lot has transpired since last week. I think it's only right. I had a lot of stuff to talk about, but we lead off with the breaking news as of yesterday. If you are just a pedestrian college football watcher, not following all the news, tough to even miss this one. John Mateer out for 3 to 4 weeks would be miraculous, but could be longer. Had a hand surgery on an injury that wasn't really prevalent, probably adrenaline or whatnot playing through game. He sustained at Auburn or against Auburn. And all of a sudden, our national championship ticket and Heisman tickets have taken a beating. And Oklahoma gets an easy one this week, but goes right into the thick of an SEC schedule for the 3 weeks following. How are we feeling that our golden goose has taken a little bump here, Alex?
Well, I feel bad, especially since we got off to the perfect start of Oklahoma winning, Mateer playing well. So, yeah, this sucks. The good news is that they play Kent State this weekend, I believe, and
Yes.
then they have a bye after Kent State. So they don't play Texas, which I believe is the game after that, until 2 weeks from this upcoming Saturday. So do I think Mateer will be playing in the Texas game? Probably not, would be my guess, but I'm confident he can get back for the game after Texas.
Tennessee.
Is that game in Knoxville?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, interesting.
Now
I mean,
80 to 1 to win the Heisman on DraftKings.
Oh,
Just 8 to 1 last week. Leader.
I mean, yeah, that's painful. There's no other way to say it.
It's behind Devin Dampier, maybe the worst D1 quarterback I've ever laid my eyes on.
Man, how the opinion changed on him after 1 week. Yeah, dude, it sucks. Rip up the Mateer Heisman ticket. That was fun while it lasted. Truly, it was. And now I'm just hoping that Oklahoma can continue to, find a way to win, a couple games without Mateer in the lineup for my Oklahoma, to make the college football playoff ticket, for my Oklahoma 8+ wins ticket. So got a lot on the line here.
Yep, certainly helps that Texas doesn't have much of an offense. Although, might as well, great segue. Did you see this?
Into the end zone, touchdown. He has been a pretty good weapon in the red zone. And some taunting going. Keeps it himself. Cutting up, gets into the end zone, touchdown. He has been a pretty good weapon in the red zone. And some
I mean, just act like you fucking been there before, Mr. 5-star, just riding the highest NIL. This is the biggest fucking bullshit I've ever seen. Your ass the entire season, and you're just fucking standing over a Sam Houston State, who you're favored by 39.5. Didn't have an opinion on Arch, and I am really firing up the hate train very quickly on this fucking guy.
Yeah, I love that you always have like a take on everything. It's one of the best things about you. I mean, look, his confidence has probably been in the dumps, and that was probably a way for him to just kind of let it all out and just, feel those alpha vibes again. So I know he apologized after the game. He said his mom, would have been disappointed in him, says all the right things as the Mannings do. But yeah, what is he? Like 21 years old? Whatever.
Okay. You know when you're being fucking disrespectful in the moment. Don't even tell me standing over another man after you're plowing into the end zone is not you knowing you're just being disrespectful.
he knew it, but
yeah, I mean,
he didn't care, man. He was fired up.
Yeah, man, really got him going. So we'll see if that's what turns around the disgusting Texas season so far. Other week 4, we both kind of middled. I mean, you were almost exactly break even. So that's any push week is a good week in my mind. And you hit your lock. I hit my lock as well. Our first lock parlay hits for the week or for the season. Many more to come. So both of our locks hit very comfortably with both late. I was on Indiana, Illinois over. I almost hit in the first half, like I said. And you were on USC, Michigan State over. You did not stay up for the game. I stayed up for the game. Pretty horrific injury there in the second quarter for Wayne Matthews, the overall leader at Michigan State. So really hoping the best for him. That was not ideal. Seems to be doing a lot better, but yeah, Michigan State showed some fight, and yeah, they really helped you get to the over there.
Yeah, it was great. So, 3-4 on the week, 1-0 on the lock. Onward we go.
Yeah, for sure. 2 tough losses. I mean, could you see Arkansas losing to Memphis? I mean, fumbling as you need to just run out the clock. And then Miami of Ohio at the same time. These are both going on 11 a.m. games. I have Miami of Ohio plus 2.5. They're within field goal range 2 minutes ago. Running back fumbles. What's going on? I mean, we're seeing it in NFL as well. How are these running backs fumbling so much now, Alex?
Yeah, seriously. Derrick Henry can't even hang on to the ball, for God's sake. That Arkansas fumble was shocking. And you not hitting the cover in the UNLV game versus Miami of Ohio was actually more shocking. That was unbelievable, the way those events transpired. So I don't know, man. The Patriots can't hang on to the football. The Steelers somehow won that game. Of course, I picked the Patriots in the fucking pick 'em. It was the right pick. But I'm not bitter about it. But I don't know, man. I don't know.
Yeah, do we need to ban the punch where it becomes a penalty if it doesn't land on the ball to make it more of a strategic use of the punch, because that's clearly they're mastering it. It's becoming insane how good some of these defensive players are with the punch of the football out.
I mean, just give more advantages to the offense.
We love points, man. We both gave overs on our locks, so please give more advantages to the offense.
Sure.
The two biggest games. First one kicked off was truly stunning. Utah, Texas Tech. Another first quarter dead dog loser.
I didn't mean to cut you off there, but what was truly stunning about it? That just felt like, Texas Tech's the better team.
I mean, the Utah home environment is the second most winning in the last 20 years, winning percentage wise.
10 a.m.
It's difficult to play there. Yeah, 10 a.m. It did bite them in the ass.
I mean, what are they drinking coffee in the stands? Let's go.
Yeah, no shit. Yeah, in Texas Tech, I mean, Baron Morton goes out. Was that early third quarter or was that second quarter?
Yeah, I thought he went out. Didn't he try to return? I don't quite remember, but you're about right.
Yeah, and so their backup just completely dices them up the rest of the game. So that's, I guess, what was more stunning is that Utah kind of never really was in the fight. And this is a 3-point favorite at home. And yeah, I don't think if those teams played each other 10 times, Utah would win more than 2.
Yeah, I'd agree with you, dude. I mean, Texas Tech, I got to give them credit for sure. I give them credit, but I don't think it was more about Utah shitting the bed than it was Texas Tech playing some outstanding game, in my opinion.
Yeah. Another note from week 4, don't need to really dive into it, but just write this down, Alex. NC State overs need to be added to the card going forward. So just make sure to note that.
Okay.
Oklahoma defense, I mean, we lose Mateer, but I tell you what, just watching that game against Auburn, their defense is fucking championship level elite. That defensive line is so mean and crazy. They're leading the league, leading the country in sacks. They might just be able to hold over Oklahoma if he's out for more than just the 2 games you expect.
I agree with you, man. I mean, Venables known for his defense. I think you as well expected this Oklahoma defense to be good coming into the year, and so far they've proven us right. Now, granted, we have to keep in mind who they've played up to this point, and they played Michigan at a point where the quarterback couldn't throw really a forward pass. Maybe he's improving, but that's a different conversation. And then Jackson Arnold, what did he get sacked? Like, did he get sacked 11? Yeah. Wow, that's nuts.
10 times, including the game-sealing safety sack, baby.
Unbelievable to give us our cover of 6.5. I don't know, man.
Maybe that's why we deserve the Eagles Rams for how much we were celebrating that no business winning Oklahoma cover.
Yeah, good point. Yeah, I'm impressed with Oklahoma's defense, but we'll see how they look when they play a couple other teams. So that's where I'm at.
Few other things on just from recapping the card. Oregon State, what an easy cover there. I'm saying that facetiously.
Yeah,
lost by 34. Oregon has first and goal at the 4 with 4 minutes to go. Thought for sure they were going on all 4, end up kicking the field goal. So Oregon State only loses by 34, covers the 35.5. Good for them. And then a Michigan State quarterback somehow finds a way to fuck us, dude. Caden Hauser, ECU, fucking stinks. 3 turnovers on downs, 1 red zone interception. It goes under by only like 8 points, I think. Maybe less than, maybe 5 points. It still almost got to the over. BYU is just kind of carrying us, but we can't trust these former Michigan State quarterbacks, and it kind of got a bigger stage. But Baylor, where's your identity, Baylor? Just a chameleon to all of their opponents. I mean, they're not playing their own game. They're just, I don't know. It's a very confusing team. I'm going to be staying away from them looking forward, but not sure if you watched any of that Arizona State Baylor game.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit. So obviously I know Arizona State won by a field goal.
Yeah. Yep. Jaden Maivia looks good, even without Jacoby Lane Mekhi Lemon is just a 5-tool player, as you'd call him in the majors.
Yep.
And then is Illinois a top 25 team in your opinion? Or is it just a 1 game overreaction?
No, they're not. I mean, I heard that they had, some injuries defensively, but you can't go lose 63-10 against Indiana in that type of game. So unfortunately right now, my answer is no, they're not a top 25 team.
Yeah. I mean, that's completely fair. And the last big news of note, because this would be a good segue to the old winners and losers. Top loser there, Dabo. Man, talk about stunning. I mean, turning the ball over on downs 4 times in a game is crazy, but you still lost by what, 15?
Yeah, dude. Talk about stunning is right, especially Burns, as they had another weather delay in that game. And
Yeah.
I was thinking to myself, delusionally, clearly, that this was going to favor Clemson because they had just gone through this against Troy a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
And it didn't wake them up. It didn't wake them
No, it did not. It truly didn't. I think it's time for him to go, huh?
Who, Dabo?
Yeah.
Whew. I wouldn't blame you or anyone if they were ready to fire off that take, but I'm not ready. I'm not there quite yet.
It just seems more like a culture thing more than anything. It just seems like he's just kind of dragging his feet that they can't. It's less of him as like a coach, but like, trust me, Clemson as a city only has this football team. Like,
Yeah.
it is a legit college town, and like they need this team to be good and like competing for national championships. And the future after this team with all the hype is not high because of how he's kind of running the program. So we'll see. That's why I'm thinking cutting ties, not because of, one down season.
Yeah, no, it's a discussion that has a lot of depth to it. No question about it.
Yeah. Not your normal cut ties, because clearly his resume can back him up to afford a bad season. But I think it's a completely different conversation than that.
Yeah. Sure.
Couple winners here. Get your thoughts on Miami. Kind of dragged their feet a little bit, but overall defense was there again. Bain looks like number 1 overall pick on the edge. And Indiana scores 1 million points against Illinois. I mean, thoughts on those two programs on what they've looked like so far?
I mean, Miami continues to impress, like you said. Bain off the edge. They got a couple good edge rushers there with Jason Taylor coaching them up. And Carson Beck definitely wasn't his sharpest against Florida on Saturday, but Miami still won relatively comfortably. I mean, Florida kind of made it a little close at one point, but I'm impressed with Miami. My concern, Burns, is Mario Cristobal at some point is going to make a stupid decision that really might screw him. I truly believe that. So that's
fair.
That'd be my concern there. And Indiana, man, what else can you say? But wow, I'm very interested to see how they look against Iowa and vice versa, how Iowa looks against them in Iowa City this upcoming Saturday. That's an interesting road environment for the Hoosiers. So huge game, but how can you not shout out Indiana after winning 63-10 against number 9 Illinois? What a win.
One thing I didn't like, Mendoza's in there until the 2-minute warning. I mean, what are we doing, Signetti? I mean, that's your entire season.
Trying to get him that Heisman.
Sure. That's your entire season if he fucking cuts the wrong way and he goes down non-contact. Get the fucking guy out of the game, buddy.
Yeah, for sure.
That was annoying. That's not a good sign of his antics as well. And then also right here, did you see we don't really have to dive into it too much. I just wanted to point out one or two things. The SEC schedules going forward were released as the three teams that every team is locked in going forward. Did you see this?
I heard about it, but I didn't see the graphic.
Yeah. So my takeaway, Tennessee, how can you not think they're a winner here? Alabama, but they get Kentucky and Vanderbilt. And then Alabama as well, kind of bitching and moaning about having to play LSU, Georgia all the time. They get Mississippi State as one of their 3. And along with obviously Auburn and Tennessee as the 2 rivals. But I just thought those 2 kind of really stuck out. So doesn't mean it's a 9-game schedule. We're going to still get these matchups, but they're not guaranteed every year like your Alabama LSU's, Alabama Georgia's going forward. But yeah, that was released on Monday.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about this. I mean, at the end of the day, I don't think it'll be all that big of a deal. But I mean, I enjoy Florida versus Tennessee every year. That's a great game. So the fact that we don't get that every year is disappointing.
For sure.
Florida versus LSU, that seems to be like a pretty legit rivalry. Disappointing we won't have that. But on the positive aspect of things, look at Texas, for example. I mean, Oklahoma, Texas A&M, and Arkansas. The history between Texas and those three schools is so much hatred and runs so deep. That's perfect that we get that every year.
The big 8 days. Those are, really solid. So I saw Kiffin made a little statement today about like we have no connection to Oklahoma. Not sure why we have them as our 3 going forward. So it seemed like they kind of wanted to cater to the top first, and then Lane might be a little foreshadowing that they know you're going to be leaving. Ole Miss is probably going to be stinky, and Oklahoma needs a stinky SEC team on their 3. That's Yep. So there's that. Like I said, that's for a off-season discussion. That's not going to change anything this season. Losers, Dabo. Jason Candle, a known loser on this podcast, Toledo's head coach, loses another one as a double-digit dog outright and completely blows Toledo's postseason chances out of the water by week 5. It's a new record for him even. One of his best teams ever, and they just do absolutely nothing. Luckily came through on one of the easiest bets of the day with the under 51.5, 14-13 final. And I mean, quarterback stinks ass and the defense is elite. That's really all you can say. And Candle's play calling is as dumb as it gets. So that's another loser. And then Devin Dampier's Heisman ticket. If you're holding one of those, sorry, that's over by week 4 as well.
Yeah, it was a good couple weeks of hopeful thinking for Toledo football fans. And hey, man, when you have a white quarterback with a full arm sleeve, I'm sorry, you ain't winning shit.
Well, and last week I found out because they panned to him on the sideline, he's got a fucking bleach blonde hair with like the Bengals stripes in his hair. So like the Bengals helmet is his hair.
I mean, sometimes you just don't want to think about these kids just being kids.
Stick to the playbook, man. The off season is for that goofing around. All right. No one wants to see your fucking goofy ass hair like that. Just worry about, he probably spent hours dyeing that when he could be studying film. Just disgusting. All right.
Really gross.
Yep. And then just cleaning up our teaser. Oh, wait, that's our week 5. Don't look at that. Cleaning up our teaser and parlay from last week. Parlay, man, 3 points shy of hitting last week. Very disappointing. Yep. Very disappointing. ASU Baylor. I mean, it was there for sure. So 5 of 6 feels close. And then we each dropped one in the teaser. We each went 2-1 on the teaser. NC State was right there the whole time. Can't believe they lost by more than 10. And then, Florida was also just, I mean, they were kind of undeserved. They almost covered 9.5 undeservedly. But not covering 14 was also tough, but still positive on the teaser for the season. And we had a good showing. It's gonna keep raking in the benefits for the season, I predict.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Okay, last thing
LFG.
before we jump into the week. He deserves it. Got to play it. Got to talk about it.
Sitting home drawing an unemployment check. How can you not take the trash out when I told you for 2 years, if you walk by the door and there's a bag of trash, take the trash out? I'm a man. I'm 40.
That's my ringtone for everything.
Oh, it is?
Come after me. I'm a man. I'm 40.
Glad that wasn't mine.
Yeah. Well, I changed mine last night. I figured if he was going to use my ringtone, then I should certainly use his ringtone.
We can be as competitive as anybody in the country on any given day.
We want everybody in the country to know, with all due respect, we got a logo too.
The sides that you get on Thanksgiving, you don't get any time during the year.
It started to sink in when I had to get up at 5:45 a.m. and be here before them and prepared for practice. It sunk in real quick.
But then when he did it, I said, oh, heck, I got to do it now. So when I got home, of course, I got it. Kristen said it made her kind of throw up in her mouth a little bit. Where are you from?
I'm from Sports Illustrated.
Sweet.
I'll be farming. That's what I do. I don't know if I'm any good at it, but I like to do it.
I can't just sit on by a pool and just look around. And I am a vacuuming fool, and I am a bathroom cleaning fool. I'm a closet Donkey Kong guy. So Todd and Wild Bill, they gave us a crash course in about a 15-minute period on the 3 defense mechanisms of a rattlesnake. You remember when in Animal House when the Germans bombed Pearl Harbor?
Was it over when the Germans bombed Pearl Harbor?
Well, I was in the Germans bombing Pearl Harbor, and one of the young coaches go, Coach, we don't play TCU. I'm like, well, if we played them.
I was concerned because it's been so long that I didn't know if I could still do it, but I can still do it.
Never say anything like it. Past my bedtime.
I double on Ambien. You do them, 10 milligrams?
Helps you sleep, huh?
I think so. I don't remember. Tropical Smoothie Cafe. I'd have brought a lot to share. Throw a little vodka in there, it'd been a lot better. There wasn't any vodka. That's from this morning. Spilled that sucker. I'm glad I spilled that smoothie on my shirt, sweatshirt. I almost forgot about Stride Stadium. No smoothie tonight, just water when you get your ass kicked. You walk up next to a 5-foot western diamondback rattlesnake and you're not scared, but you're scared to jump out of a plane. Yeah, I am. And motorcycles scare me.
Man. Another coaching gone. Mike Gundy, legend, dude. He needs to stick around college football. I'm sure he will, but tough to see.
What a personality, right?
Yeah. Yep. And I mean, obviously he played quarterback there. Saw an interesting stat. The time he played left quarterback and wasn't the coach there, 0 top 25 finishes. And then from when him head coaching starting in 2006 till yesterday, it was like 12 top 25 finishes, or no, 17 top 25 finishes, and like 12 in a row at one point.
Yeah, man. He consistently had those guys good. It's too bad he couldn't leave on a high note. You know, Oklahoma State, they just lost to Tulsa. They're in-state rival. Not great, but
no. Rival,
yeah.
even that's saying a lot. Kind of being nice there,
right?
Yeah. It just 20-year career at the college that you played quarterback for. Hope you could have finished out the season. Not really sure why couldn't do that. Season's already in the toilet, so I think that was not the best way to handle that. But who knows? With the new landscape of college football, maybe you have to get him out as soon as possible.
Sure. Yeah. Appreciate the video, man. Gundy is a real one.
Yep. Hey, Mike, come on. Hey, you got some extra time now. Come on the pod. We'd love to have you as a third chair.
Oh yeah. Well, we'll drink. What do we drink? Tequila sodas together.
Yeah, exactly. As he's one of the quotes accidentally. Yeah, I think I've driven drunk, or I think I've driven after drinking 1,000 times home. After Ollie Gordon gets a DUI. Oh, woof. What a legend. All right, let's get into week 5. Why don't we?
Yes, please.
Okay, let me get the big. That's not the big board. That's the SICKO board. Yikes. There's the big board.
All right, let's get into it. Week number 5. This is an absolute electric week of college football, and I truly mean that. The games this week are just incredible, so let's get into it. We're going to start with an early game. USC taking on Illinois in Champaign. USC's laying 7.5 points on the road. Total 53.5. So, Burns, after what I saw from USC against Michigan State last weekend, and Illinois losing by 53 to Indiana, it really is hard for me to possibly see Illinois winning this game. I would lean USC. Now, granted, we're not betting USC on the money line here, but USC's offense looks very legit, and Illinois' defense just gave up, 50 points, 60 points. So that concerns me.
Yeah, for sure. A little concerned about USC's run defense if Illinois can get anything going in the rush attack. Offensively, though, yeah, passing Maivia, they seem to start clicking on everything, leading the country in offensive success. EPA in the pass, expected points, number one in the country. A lot of home cooking. I mean, they did sneak in a little road game to Purdue, which they didn't cover. So since 2013, that Purdue win was the first win straight up going to Central or Eastern time zone. So they're 1-13, and they are 1-13 against the spread going because they did not cover against Purdue as well. So when they go to the Eastern time zone in the last decade, it has not been favorable for USC.
Yeah. I mean, those are some interesting stats, but Illinois just played such a stinker of a game, and I'm concerned that they might just be an average team if you lose 63-10. That really concerns me because this is like an Illinois spot when you just talk about spots traditionally. But I don't think I can get there with Illinois right now. If I had to lean, I'd lean USC to cover. Very square, but that's where I'm at. And I think I'd lean the over 60.5 as well. USC's running back Burns, very good player, very, very good player. Wayman Jordan.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, that's fair. I mean, if you can find 7.5, I would actually want Illinois. Sleepy spot, just like Northwestern getting Oregon a couple weeks ago, Purdue getting USC. I think Illinois is obviously much more talented than both of those teams. We called out Illinois being on fraud alert, just kind of having a little too much hype from returning last year's team who had far more close victories than what the bell curve usually allows in a season. So not sure if they were represented in their 10-win season last year. It was more of a 7-win team. This is a weird game to me, Alex, at 11 a.m. Very weird. I would also like the over, assuming Illinois can score more than 10 points, because I don't think USC is getting to 63. And this one's a little bigger over. It's at 60.5.
That's what I'm showing. All right, let's move on. Auburn taking on Texas A&M, 2:30 p.m. Central, ABC. Let's take a look here. We got A&M laying 6.5, and the total is 47.5. What do you think about Auburn taking on Texas A&M?
Yeah. Obviously Auburn kind of hung around with Oklahoma last week. So, I mean, it's not exactly a doormat of the SEC by any means to just be giving away or to be getting touchdowns every single week. You have to think this team is skilled and talented enough to be covering and even outright winning one of those games. I heard someone talking today that this will be the best wide receiving core that they've seen with Casey Concepcion, which could be fair, but mind you, these D-backs are going up against Cam Coleman in practice, like probably second to Jeremiah Smith in wide receiver talent in the entire country. So it's not like they're not seeing any sort of like talent when it comes to preparation. I think just Auburn has enough dudes to compete and keep it within the number. I like it at the touchdown that it's at.
Going to disagree with you here. I would lay it with Texas A&M. Big win against Notre Dame coming off a bye. Mike Elko knows he's got his squad at 3-0. He's got a golden opportunity to have a golden season and make the college football playoff. The receivers against Notre Dame looked incredibly legit. Mario Craver, really, really explosive player alongside Casey Concepcion. Texas A&M's at home. Auburn, I have concerns about their offensive line as we saw them give up 10 sacks last week, and just don't believe in Jackson Arnold as a down the field thrower consistently. So I actually don't think Auburn is all that bad of a team. I think they'll have a fine season, but I think this spread should be more like 10. So I like A&M.
Whoa. All right. Yeah, I'm good with this game. Yeah, I don't really have any more to say. Not really that excited about it. There's a pretty jam-packed slate.
Yeah, tell me if you're excited about this next game. Ohio State at Washington. This game is at 2:30 p.m. Central, CBS. Man, couldn't make this a night game. Come on.
Yeah, no kidding.
Ohio State laying 8.5 points on the road. Over under is 52.5. So I will defer to the Buckeye fan here. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, keeps climbing down. It was 13.5. Look ahead a couple weeks ago. 10.5 on Sunday and down to 8.5 now. So, a lot of people thinking this will be a close game. I don't think that's very ignorant to think. Ohio State has won 20 straight games off a bye. And that is, let's see, what are they? 13-7 against the spread and 14-5-1 to the over off a bye in their last 20 runs at it. Listen, Damon Williams is a talent. I mean, I have a Heisman ticket on him from beginning of the year, and everyone's just starting to find out. My biggest concern is what we've seen the last week is teams that play nobody getting their first taste of true talent and speed. A bit concerned when you come to evaluating Washington because they fall into that category of not really playing anyone yet. I look at Ohio State. First true road test for a young quarterback, Julian Sayin, leading the country in completion percentage. So I'm wondering if this is going to go one of two ways. Is it going to limit the play calling and try to establish a run that they haven't been able to find yet? I really hope Ohio State takes each game in its own vacuum and compiles it, because Bo Jackson, the freshman running back, needs to be in a starter or a very heavily fed role when it comes to a contribution in that backfield. James Peoples just isn't. He's just not getting it done. And C.J. Donaldson is a solid power back, but yeah, they had trouble cashing. I mean, they had 600 plus yards against Ohio and only managed 37 points. 600 plus yards, you got to be in the 50s. That's just way too many yards moving up and down the field to not cash in on the red zone. So big concern there to see if Washington's defense can stand up. I know I said that stat on the over. I kind of like the under in this situation, just because of Sayin's first road game. I'm not concerned about a mobile quarterback with Ohio State's defense and how disciplined they are against the run. Obviously, Damon Williams is much better than Parker Navarro, but Parker Navarro's shifty guy. I mean, just completely eliminated him, and I don't see Washington's O-line being world beaters in any means. So I actually like this game at 28-16 Ohio State. I see them covering late, but I see a close game.
Yeah, sure. I think the questions for me is, what's Ohio State's offensive game plan going to look like, and how are they going to get the ball in Jeremiah Smith and Carnell Tate's hands as much as possible and make life easy for their young quarterback on the road in a hostile environment? So that would be a question of mine. And And then I guess the other question is, of course, Washington's offense, Jonah Coleman, DeMond Williams versus this Ohio State defense, which, is very, very good. Really, really interesting. I don't really have like a lean or a play. I guess I'll just point out that if I remember correctly, before the season even started, you pointed this game out. You were like, this is a weird game for Ohio State at Washington, long trip. Kind of has those vibes where it could be a close game. Just kind of one of those weird spots, but I don't know, man.
Yeah. I would be stunned if it was a Ohio State blowout, to be honest. This game, because there's so many question marks, right? I did see that there's a possibility Washington's number one cornerback might be out for this game. So nothing's official there, but that could be a big developing issue. Washington likes to play man, and if they commit to man, you saw it the entire college football playoff. That's how I see this game actually getting to a crooked number, is if Washington is committing to man and number 4 and number 17 just are allowed to run wild.
You know what's crazy is that Ohio State had a Mecca Ibuka last year. When you see the start that he's with Tampa Bay in the NFL.
Yeah, I know, man. It is fucking crazy.
And he wasn't even the best receiver on the team.
Nope. But he does have the most receptions in Ohio State history, so certainly left his legacy.
For sure. All right. LSU taking on Ole Miss at 2:30 p.m. Central Time.
Really?
And yes.
Oh.
How are we going to watch all these games?
We've got a nice quad box lined up. And the Ryder Cup's on, too, as you can see from my garb. I've got a little Ryder Cup parlay for the end of the show.
Yeah. So, afternoon game, LSU is a 1.5 point underdog on the road, and the over-under is 54.5. I definitely have a side that I'm leaning in this game, and I'll tell you what it is. So, Ole Miss, we think that they're going to be starting the backup quarterback who's impressed over these last couple of weeks. Is that right?
Not think. He is starting. That's official.
Chambliss? Is that who it is?
Trinidad Chambliss.
Yeah, so Chambliss is going to be making his third career start, I believe, with Ole Miss. He's been great his first 2 games. But I was listening to the Cover 3 podcast earlier, and they were basically saying how he hasn't been blitzed this year. And I'll tell you this, I've been really impressed with LSU's defense up to this point. Granted, I understand they've played Florida, they played Clemson. Maybe this will be a bigger test for them, perhaps, but I like the way that those guys fly around the field. They're playing with confidence. They have athletes. It's my long way of saying I think there will be moments where Chambliss definitely struggles, where he might throw a bad interception, where a coverage might catch him off guard, those types of things. And then on the flip side, Burns, I like LSU coming off a bye. I like the fact they get to play an Ole Miss defense that isn't too elite. I think that will help their offensive line establish their footing in run blocking, as well as allow their passing game to become a little bit more efficient as well. So if you can't tell, I like LSU in this game. I think LSU comes out with the win.
Yeah, this is a unstoppable force versus an immovable object. Brian Kelly, 47, 22, and 2 against the spread as a dog. And Lane Kiffin, 27 and 6 straight up at home at Ole Miss. So something's got to give in those two with basically a pick'em spread here. But LSU is a small dog. I don't know, man. I don't know how much more of a leash I can give to LSU. Even when you're playing Southeastern Louisiana or whoever the fuck, still started slow. Got it going, obviously, to end that game. But you're not going to be afforded the same in a hostile environment and getting down, 14-0 maybe.
Right.
With no run game. Both these teams don't have a run game. Two very unimpressive. I mean, Ole Miss's defense doesn't have a run game either. So maybe this is where LSU tries to get it right. But I've been following the drama too. Have you seen the drama?
I've seen Lane Kiffin's daughter dating the LSU linebacker.
Yep. Announced it this week. That hasn't been announced. They hard dropped, as the kids say, or whatever.
Yeah.
And then there was a now deleted comment where Kiffin commented on this guy's post. It said, have to think Ole Miss has play calling is going to be a little more aggressive against this defense. Kiffin just comments, take the over. This is the SEC, just a full-blown reality show. So I'm taking the over. I just think this is going to be an old-fashioned 21-21 at the end of the first quarter, for fuck's sake.
Mm-hmm.
I expect LSU. Nussmeier has to be getting healthier, right? Just by sake of time, he has to be getting healthier if they keep playing him, right?
Yeah. Yeah. That's yeah.
Time heals all wounds, right?
That's what they say.
I mean, there's too much. I know the offensive line is extremely inexperienced, and that is a concern. So you talk about blitzing Trinidad. I'm also concerned about blitz pressure on Nussmeier because he has no mobility. At least Trinidad has got some legs to him.
I hear you. Yeah. Might as well just take Coach Kiffin's advice. Take the over.
Yeah, I'm on the over. Everything I've seen, I don't see this LSU team being undefeated anymore. And I think this could be one of their losses. I'm concerned, Alex.
Yeah, very, very good game in a Saturday, just completely packed of good games as we transition to another absolute fucking elite football game. We have Oregon taking on Penn State, Happy Valley, 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Penn State, home favorite of 3.5 points. The over-under is 51.5. What do we expect in this football game, Burns?
I don't know because I keep going. Everyone seems to believe Oregon getting points here is as easy as, if Oregon was playing a MAC team. And I don't know if I'm ready to get behind that. Although, let's just talk a little bit. Besides stats this year, Dante Moore started at UCLA, lost on the road. Arizona, Oregon State, Utah, in 3 of his 4 in-conference road games, and just pitiful performances. This year, they haven't played anyone. No offense to your Northwestern Wildcats.
None taken.
But, I mean, that was their easily most admirable defense. He threw a pick. Hasn't really been running the ball, hasn't needed to. And then Drew Aller, what's Drew Aller's biggest win? Boise State in the playoff last year?
I think so.
And that was still 171 yards. SMU 127 yards, both below 60 completion percentage. I don't trust Dante Moore in a silent snap count. I think Penn State's ability to run the ball and ability to have the home field advantage under the lights is a big advantage that the defense can win this game more than the quarterbacks. I kind of like the under here, and I don't know why it says LSU minus 7.5 there on the graphic. But I think it's 3.5, right?
3.5. Yes, sir. 51.5 is the total.
Yeah, I just have a feeling this is just going to be feel it out game, and because obviously we know Penn State hasn't played anyone, so I can't just give them a free pass if I don't give Washington and other schools a free pass. Like, Penn State hasn't played anyone either. They could very well get their doors blown off. What are you seeing?
I mean, I agree with a lot of your points. I mean, neither of these teams have really played anyone. Like you said, Oregon played Northwestern, and Penn State, who's the best team that they played? Villanova? I mean, it's just been a very cupcakey schedule for both of these squads. And Drew Aller, obviously we have our questions and our concerns. I'll also say Penn State hasn't looked as dominant as you would hope that they would look against some of these smaller schools. And I think that's cause for some concern. And I know kind of the chatter as well, you know, they've been holding their guys back. They've been holding the playbook back. They've been, you know, holding back. And there's probably some truth to that, honestly. But like, I don't know. I just don't know. And I'm not going to come on here and pretend like I do know. This is a very weird, tricky game. And sorry, Burns, I just don't know.
You don't have any play at all in one of the biggest games of the year so far.
I would say I lean your under. I guess my question would be, is it smarter to play the first half under or full game under? That would be my question.
Yeah, that's a great call. Man. I mean, do we just completely throw out the Big Ten championship last year?
I mean, I personally think that can only really play into Penn State's advantage because they can use that as motivation and as a revenge spot. But yes, I don't put much stock into the game itself from like a tactical standpoint personally.
Okay, yeah, because they never led that entire game and gave up 500 yards of offense. But I think Dylan Gabriel's, still a little better than Dante Moore. Neutral site as well, and in a dome. Everything runs a little faster in the dome for the offenses than getting muddied down in the turf.
Yep, 100%. Look, I don't know if I'm going to play this or not, and I don't love that it's 3 in a hook, but my lean is Penn State to win the game, and if I'm picking them to win the game, typically that means they can cover at least 4 points or 3.5. So that would be my lean. I'm not going to just disrespect Penn State this early on in the season until they give me a reason to.
Yeah, totally fair.
Another game at night at 7:30 p.m. Eastern is Alabama at Georgia. I mean, I feel like I'm in a simulation. I feel like I'm in a simulation right now. How are these games all happening? Alabama, Georgia. 2.5 is the spread that I'm showing. No, I'm showing 3. Hard Rock just has some weird numbers. 3-point spread. Georgia's favorited. Over under 52.5. Wow. Gut reaction. That spread is tighter than I was expecting. I was expecting Georgia to be more of like a 4.5-point favorite. So I'm a little surprised to see it at 3.
Wow. Okay. Why do you say that?
Mostly because Georgia's at home. They've already proven that they can go beat what we think is a pretty good Tennessee team, and they did that on the road. Like, I saw enough of a sample size with Georgia, although there were concerns, no question about it, especially like in their secondary, where they showed to me that, okay, they got some grit, they can make some plays, good football team. And just being at home, I mean, that's where I'm coming from here, man. I mean, if this game was in Alabama, I would probably say Alabama should be like a, 2-point favorite, something like that.
Yeah. I think a lot of concerns on the back end, with Ryan Williams obviously being able to stretch the field better than any no disrespect to Tennessee, but, better than any wide receiver that Tennessee has. And they were able to stretch the field on command. It is home, so that is fair. Totally different environment. Tennessee's looking to turn it up. get that crowd behind them. I like the 90-90 play here, Alex. When I see 90-90, 90% of the bets, 90% of the money, I'm just automatic contrarian, and that's money on the under. So I like the over 52.5. Gunnar Stockton really showed me some stuff against Tennessee. I think he's got way more poise than he's given credit for. I mean, that ball, on fourth down.
Perfect.
Perfect ball, dude. I mean, couldn't have walked up and handed it to him any better.
Great catch by the receiver, too.
Yeah, truly. So I like the over in this game. I see some sharp money coming in on Alabama, which is a little concerning, but obviously we know you're looking for someone to escort Kalen DeBoer out the back door. You're looking at him right here. This was one of the 4 losses that I had for Alabama this season, and 3 or 4, but this is where I just think the better team wins, and I like the over here.
This early on in the season, it's just you just don't have a lot of data to compare it to. The over is an interesting play. I kind of like it. And dude, as far as Alabama goes, they lost to Florida State and then they crushed Wisconsin. And did they look good in the process? They sure did. They did look good. But then Wisconsin turns around and lost to Maryland, in Camp Randall. So I just don't think Alabama has quite shown it yet, whereas Georgia has, proven it thus far. But that's not me saying that Alabama can't win or can't hang around, because I still have plenty of questions about Georgia, like we just talked about, So what a game.
Let's just say if you're backing Georgia, you want a little bit better start than last year, right?
Yeah, a lot better, pal.
What a game. Yeah. That's going to be so electric. Very excited about that game. I'm on the over for sure. I'm a little nervous about your trepidation for the 2 biggest games of the week and just kind of dipping your one big toe in, barely even thinking about sprinkling just the love of the game, watching the games.
Well, we're doing the podcast on Wednesday. I mean, you know how it is. Sometimes the game gets close and you're like, all right, what am I going to do? Lay off? So we'll see. But don't go puffing your chest like you had some big take in Oregon, Penn State. I mean, we don't know. We really don't know in that game. I do like your overcall in Bama, Georgia. That game feels like possibly both teams getting into the 30s.
Yeah. Wow. Who made the graphic? Indiana favored in this game?
Dude, I don't know what you were doing.
I just took it over from last week's and clearly didn't clear out enough.
All
right. Let's go our game of note. Obviously, we got a lot more games to talk about. This is sexy little slate. Nope, sickos.
Yeah, week 5, games of note. So outside of the big games that we just covered, there's still a lot going on. We'll start with Friday night, Florida State taking on Virginia, 7 p.m. Eastern, ESPN. And I'll pull up the updated line here. Florida State is 7.5-point favorite. Over-unders 59.5. Burns. I don't know much about Virginia football, but this just feels like a sneaky spot. Florida State better come ready to play because it feels like a Virginia spot. What do you think?
Yeah, for sure. Florida State, obviously outside of that Bama game, has had the benefit of a bye week. Eastern Tennessee or Eastern Texas A&M, Kent State. So really just idling until finally get into ACC play. Virginia, much better team than people are giving them credit for. Maybe should have won that NC State shootout. But I tweeted this out on Tuesday morning, along with another line that's coming up in our SICKO slate. I'm on the over already, 57.5. It's already up to 59. That doesn't bother me. I'd get it up to 62.5 and still be comfortable. Got questions about Virginia's defense. I'm still not fully locked into Florida State's defense yet. because, I mean, let's be honest. This was a team that completely fell on its face last year in 2-10. 2-10, are we talking?
Yep.
And like, this is Tommy Castellanos pod, pro Tommy C. But I'm not just ready to like roll out the steamboat and you're just going to roll over everyone. So I think Virginia can keep up the scoring. And with a top 20 offense in rushing and top 30 in passing, I expect some fireworks on Friday night.
Yeah. Another really good Friday game, under the radar good game. TCU taking on Arizona State in the desert, 9 p.m. Eastern on Fox. Arizona State's laying 2.5 juiced, so 2.5 to 3 over under 54.5. Here's my initial take on this game. Curious what you think. It seems to me that Arizona State is playing a gritty style of football, a gritty style of defense, especially from the moment Mississippi State jumped out on them 17-0 in that game. Seems like Arizona State's defense has really caught some fire. TCU, obviously, we love Josh Hoover. Their offense has been impressive. They got some playmakers. I kind of lean the under. 54.5, but my hesitation, Burns, is that these are two good offenses. So not sure if I want to fade two good offenses, but all in all, this is just a good football game. If you like college football, this is a really good game.
Sure. I agree. Won't be on my card. I'm dipping my toes back in. Got my first Friday win in a while with Iowa money line last week. So I'm not going to get all crazy here and just go in on both if I'm on the over in Virginia. What you're saying is definitely something I would think as well. I'm a little concerned when it comes to Arizona State's ability to fluster Josh Hoover. Very good quarterback, man. So that's where I think I wouldn't feel that comfortable betting the under, because if he has time and Levitt's a good quarterback, I trust these boys to get it to their playmakers. And obviously Jordan Tyson against a very questionable TCU pass defense should be able to just eat. But you're right. Arizona State has been like very methodical and weird, like not high tempo in any means. And this is a weird game for me.
I lean TCU if you can get plus the 3. I think they definitely have a good shot to win this game outright.
Absolutely.
Moving to Saturday, this is a really interesting game. Louisville on the road taking on Pittsburgh. Bit of an early start, 12 p.m. Eastern, and we have Louisville laying 3.5 on the road, and the over-under is 57.5. You like Pitt in this game?
Yeah, kind of like a bad habit. Just right back to Pitt. Got a bye week after that horrific loss to West Virginia. But they're at home now. Louisville obviously running hot, but who have they played, right? James Madison. And they really didn't look that impressive against James Madison. This is just a get back spot. I think this line has kind of climbed higher than 4.5, right?
I got 3.5 on Hard Rock currently.
Okay. Bad radio, but what are your thoughts?
I mean, it's a Pitt spot coming off a bye, coming off a horrific loss, like you said. It's a Pitt spot. Louisville hasn't been overly impressive so far to start the year, despite their 3-0 start. I mean, it's really hard to say for me. Like, will Louisville kick it in gear and get their act together and I guess do what the public or the betting market thinks that they're going to do? Maybe. I mean, I like Miller Moss as a quarterback. He's a talented player, but Pitt's not a bad program themselves. So I probably lean Pitt plus the 3.5. I think it'll be tight. I think it'll be weird. That's kind of my take on it.
Yep. They're in my upset special of the week, or just favorite upsets, one of the two. So I like Pitt to win it outright, shake it up, get back, put their name back in the hat of contenders in the ACC. So that'll be a nice plus money hit to start off the morning/afternoon.
Whoa. All right.
Yep.
Another game on Saturday. We actually have some NBA action on TNT. No, it's college football, but it's on TNT.
Oh boy, take it easy, Alex.
How bizarre! How bizarre is this? I don't think I've ever seen this before. Did they start doing that just this year, or did they have this last year as well?
Yeah, this year. There's been games on TNT every week. I think it's because of their partnership with HBO. So if it's on TNT, you can stream it on HBO Max or whatever.
Okay. Well, we got Cincinnati taking on Kansas. Kansas is at home, and they are laying 4.5 points. The over-under is 55.5. I guess my first thought was Cincinnati plus the points, but I think this line opened around 6.5. I believe it's been bet down at this point.
Yes, that's correct.
I just thought Cincinnati, I haven't watched them outside of their first game of the year against Nebraska when they played in Arrowhead on that Thursday night to kick off the year. But I thought Cincinnati looked pretty good. I felt like they held their own. Definitely felt like they could have won that game had they just cleaned a couple things up. I mean, Brendan Sorsby, their quarterback, he can scoot. He can make plays. Seems like that squad is playing with some swagger and some confidence, just, scoreboard watching from a distance. But, hey, in that same token, Kansas is off to a red-hot start, no doubt about it. I mean, they whooped on West Virginia last week, 41-10. And, they held their own against Missouri, played a competitive game. But all in all, Burns, I think these are two pretty solid teams. So I would prefer to catch the team that's getting 4.5 points on the road. That would be my lean, Cincinnati plus the 4.5.
Sure. Yep. Kansas at home again. I mean, got us to our under last week, one of our best bets. But man, they tried to get it over themselves there.
Mm-hmm.
It was a nice little performance there. Really showed up. West Virginia continues to be a fade on any points whatsoever. I kind of like the under here, Alex. And both teams have been struggling on third and fourth down conversions. Cincinnati's offense is 119th in the country. Kansas's offense is 128th in the country when it comes to third and fourth down success. So that worries me a little bit when it comes to producing long drives and producing points needed for an over. So I might go back to the well here, and because I really like Cincinnati's defensive line with our godfather Corleone, Dante Corleone, and I like kind of what Kansas's defense has shown this season, really stepping up. So I might be right back on the under, and it's almost the same exact line as last week. 54.5 last week. I think it's still 55.
Interesting. Might go back to the well.
Yeah. Why not?
Another game kicking off at 12 p.m. Eastern, ABC. This is a interesting one. Notre Dame goes on the road to Arkansas, and we have Notre Dame as a 3.5 point road favorite, and the over-under is 64.5. I mean, Notre Dame feels like such a square play because it is a square play. The public's going to be all over ND, and I would have to agree. And the reason I say that is because Notre Dame offensively has looked pretty damn strong thus far. Not perfect, but pretty strong. And, they scored 56 points against Purdue last week, and Arkansas's defense has been a pretty big liability as they've proven so far. Now, this is a big game for them, Arkansas. They're at home. They're going to want to step up, play against a quality team. I guess my concern, Burns, is Arkansas. They got up for the Ole Miss game, deflating loss. Then they had to get up for the Memphis game, deflating loss. How many more times can they get up and then execute on game day? I'm a little concerned about that. Notre Dame is my lean, -3.5.
Sounds like what Sydney's been grilling me on, huh?
I'm sorry?
Oh, a kid. Completely kid. Got to get it up on game day and execute, dude. We're talking ball.
What's wrong with you?
Dude, I mean, was there a delay in the Purdue Notre Dame game? Or did it just start at a weird time?
Honestly, don't know.
Okay. Because every time I kept looking at that game, it was like somehow in the third quarter, and every other game was just like way past that. But I mean, listen, it's 35-23 at half. Like, there is a serious problem with this defense. You can't allow 30 from Purdue in any facet. Like, this isn't even garbage time. They scored 7 in the second half. So, Arkansas's offense and Taylor Green are significantly better than Purdue. And now you're going on the road, and they say defense travels. You might want to leave that defense at home.
Ooh.
Because,
Bars.
man, 130th against the pass, 134th out of 136 in available yards. And how about this? This is one of the craziest stats through 3 games, because they already had a bye. 3 full games. That's 12 quarters, Alex. The opponent's starting field position against Notre Dame is the opponent 49-yard line. They're basically playing half the field.
Wow. That's crazy.
Dude, through 3 games. Like, this is insane. So put that on special teams as well. Arkansas can't defend against the run. So Jeremiah Love, if you can bet props, he should be just down the sideline again. He should be eaten in this game. I know it's crazy because of, these are big numbers when you get to the mid-60s, but I think you have to, out of principle, lay the over in this game.
I agree. I think this game will be something like 41-31.
Yeah. I mean, it might even be like 45 all going into overtime.
It truly could.
Like, that's what this is, like Rams Chiefs from 2019? Give me an alt spread of 89.5 now.
Yeah, exactly. It wouldn't surprise me either. I tend to agree, dude. Yeah, I think you got to take the over in this one. Indiana taking on Iowa, 2:30 p.m. Central Time. Peacock, Indiana laying 7.5 on the road. Over under is 47.5. Fernando Mendoza, Heisman Trophy winner.
Man, he's the favorite all of a sudden. Crazy. I first of all, fucking Peacock games in the middle of a slate really piss me off. I got to dedicate a fucking game to Peacock. It's neither here nor there. 5 of the last 6 meetings between these two teams, so that includes teams that wasn't Signetti's, Frankenstein, have gone over actually in this little battle of Big Ten teams. I said it before the year, said it last week while it was my lock. We are riding Indiana overs until the brakes fall off, and they're giving it to us under 50. Once again, Indiana might get there on their own. This isn't like the best defense Ferentz has ever had. We had last week, Rutgers was able to get out and kind of do whatever they wanted for a brief moment in time. That over, I think, right at the same price, 47. That got there pretty easily. Gronowski starting to look like a formidable quarterback. The shaky first 3 weeks, he looked good-ish against Rutgers. definitely more than a serviceable, like what we've seen in the past. I know PTSD scars these Iowa fans with the quarterback position. So I just don't know if I want to touch that spread because this is an all-time. We just saw Indiana win by 1,000,000, and you're like, Iowa, it's just not their year. So I'm laying points with Indiana, and all of a sudden, it's 28-27 with 3 minutes to go, and Iowa has the ball. Something weird like that.
I agree with pretty much everything you said there. 100%. I guess my question in terms of the under possibly hitting would be, my main question would be, are we just not giving Indiana's defense enough credit? Like, is there a chance that and obviously the answer is yes, there's a chance, but like, can Iowa just be held to like 10 points in this game because Indiana's defense is just so dominant? And I think the answer is yeah, maybe. I don't really know. Or maybe they are that dominant on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, that's a great point. It truly is. I think because we were so critical about that Illinois team, and they ended up being exactly kind of what we saw in our prediction for the season. And with obviously the reputation of Indiana's non-conference, which Old Dominion somehow is looking like their best win of the season over Illinois. You're right. The jury's still out. I don't think we can fairly evaluate the Indiana defense quite yet, and they could totally keep Iowa's offense to 10. I just don't think they will.
Yeah. Overall, I agree. I think even another thing that you have going for you, if you take the over in this game, is Gronowski is getting more confident, which means he might try to make some more throws that maybe he shouldn't make, which could lead to pick six, anything like that. And same thing with Mendoza on the flip side, like going on the road in a hostile environment. We see it all the time. Where, quarterback goes in and makes a dumbass throw, especially like on the road. Shout out Jordan Love against the Browns. So yeah, I could see it.
That wound is wide open still. That's a wide open wound.
It's Wednesday, and you're right. I'm still salty about it. Oh boy. I am fascinated with this game, Burns. I think Iowa has a huge shot to pull off the upset, but that's not a shot at Indiana. This is just college. This is just football. This is just a tough, interesting game. So I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, for sure.
Tennessee taking on Mississippi State. This game's on SEC Network, 4:15 p.m. Eastern. Weird start time. Tennessee is laying 7.5 points on the road, over under 63.5. Do you have any thoughts in this one?
Not really. This is a game I haven't really gotten around to. Did you add this one on there because it's Eastern?
I just felt like it was worth mentioning.
I don't know. This is a weird spot. Sharp money coming in on the Bulldogs, at home. I like what Aguilar has been able to do so far. So without digging into it, could I see Tennessee winning by 3 scores? And maybe we're there a little too early on Mississippi State. Like how good is Mississippi State's ceiling is what we need to be asking ourselves, because they're 4-0. And if you're thinking upset for Mississippi State, we should be talking about potentially 9-10 win team, if that's what you're thinking. But I would lean more towards they're fitting to come back down to earth in my southern character here.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, I kind of I'm not ready to fully believe in Mississippi State. I think Tennessee will win, and if I had to venture, I would say that they cover the 7.5. 10. Not that it's like a blowout by any stretch, but maybe Tennessee wins by 11 or 14 or something like that would be my hunch in that one.
Yeah, there was pathways that Georgia showed us that moving the ball vertically could be successful against Tennessee's defense. They weren't exactly world beaters as well. So those freaking cowbells, dude. Second half is going to be like dusk. Things could get weird down there in Starkville.
For sure, as we saw against Arizona State not too long ago. And then here we have 6 p.m. Central, Arizona takes their show on the road, whatever that might be, against Iowa State. So Arizona takes on Iowa State. The over-under is 48.5, and Iowa State is laying 6.5 points at home. I think a lot of people are going to bet Iowa State here, being at home with the number 14 next to their name, laying less than a touchdown, which I think is all the reason why we need to be on Arizona in this game.
Yeah, that's what you would think, right? Wrong. Dude, you know Noah Fafita has 1 passing touchdown this season?
I did not know that.
In 3 games. And they've they've scored quite a few points here. So I am they have a common opponent against Kansas State. Obviously Iowa State played them week 0 in Ireland, but I just thought Iowa State's performance was much more impressive defensively. Kansas State was just they were in that game until the end against Arizona. Still can't believe they lost. But there wasn't really much impressive when you look at this game from an eye test of the common opponents. Iowa State at home, under Campbell, I will trust to get over a touchdown.
Interesting. I just don't agree because I watched a lot of that Arizona versus K-State game. And the thing is, Burns, is that Arizona should have won that game by 35 points. I truly believe that. I mean, they just completely kicked the ass of K-State, yet they somehow just kept letting them hang around. I think there's a lot more meat on the bone for that Arizona team, is basically what I'm saying. I thought their defense was really impressive. K-State sucks, sure. But Arizona against the world this week. Arizona money line.
Iowa State is coming off a bye. Last seven conference openers for Iowa State have all gone over. And Iowa State in their last 7 conference openers are 6-1 straight up and against the spread.
Straight up. That's a good stat.
So something to chew on there.
So suck on those, Mayor.
Yep. Let's get sick. I got some sick games I want to talk about.
All right, let's dive into it. UCF taking on Kansas State. That is yucky. Let me pull up the updated line for you.
I think it's still 6.
So Kansas State off a bye at home, taking on a UCF team that just waxed North Carolina. Yeah, K-State minus 6.5, over under 49.5.
Is this UCLA minus 15 all over again?
Good question.
Oh, this game has me so scared. Sharp money on UCF. Oh, what do we do, Mayor? How is Kansas State favored by 6?
Isn't that crazy?
Avery Johnson cannot complete a football pass.
He looked broken. Truly, he looked broken against Arizona.
What do we do here? I mean, do you just take? Is this the easiest money line touchdown dog that we've ever seen?
Oh boy. Maybe.
Because you look at UCF and they've just beat down a now completely shot UNC team that, coming into the season we had higher expectations. Played North Carolina A&T, and then struggled against Jacksonville State, won 17-10 in the opener. So they've only had 3 games as well, but they're not off a bye. Kansas State is. So 3-0 might be a little bit of a fool's gold 3-0 there. I'm not sure if we're ready to lay that money line quite yet.
Yeah, if I had to play it, I would lay the 6 with Kansas State. And I think a lot of times in sports the margins aren't as big as they appear, and K-State, you got to think if there's one team that's going to come into this game laser focused and ready to play, it's going to be K-State. That would make the most sense. If you had the probability pie, it would be Kansas State. So
tell you what, there'd be no bigger just kind of smacking yourself in the head. Kansas State comes out 3 ducks into the ground, 3 and out.
Right. Here comes the punt team. Like 40 seconds into the game.
Yep, that's you look for a cash out at 70% and just hope it's available.
For sure. For sure. I'm staying away from this game. I'm not touching it.
Fair.
Duke taking on Syracuse. It's a sneaky, interesting game. It's too bad Syracuse's quarterback is out for the season with that injury. So Duke is on the road laying 5.5, and the over-under is 60.5. Do you have a play?
Yes, I do. Tweeted this out on Monday as well, paired with the over. I'm on Duke minus 5.5 here. It was a pretty solid statement win against NC State. This Duke team could have rolled over and just kind of washed away the season after a tough loss to what looks like now a fraudulent Illinois team. And Ricky Collins coming in, LSU transfer for Syracuse. Yeah, Angeli tore his Achilles, tough. Obviously you're trying to build momentum off that Clemson win. I got a couple things in here for you. So the next game that we're talking about, Rice Navy, this is the antithesis of this game, of that game. Syracuse 5th, Duke 14th, respectively, in passing attempts per game. Syracuse is 5th fastest tempo in the entire country. Duke is top 20 in tempo as well. Should not be a concern for the change in their QB. Should look to really push the pace here as well. So if you like the over, I'd be fine taking that as well. I just like Duke having the more seasoned quarterback in Mensa on that fast dome turf for Duke to run out and get 40 on their own. And they're 2 poor pass defense as well.
Yeah, I would probably lean that direction. Duke, like you said, they responded nicely against NC State last week. It was good to see. And Syracuse, I mean, they're coming off such an unbelievably high of beating Clemson on the road. You have to wonder how they're going to look, not just off that, but also playing with their backup quarterback.
Yeah.
So,
and Jelly looked good too. That's just a tough loss.
Very much so. Hate to see it. Moving on, you mentioned it. Rice taking on Navy. Looks like Navy is laying about 14 in this spot. What do you think?
Well, Alex, I'm treating this game as an academy game. And what is our rule for the academy games?
Under.
You bet the under. No matter what, you bet the under. Side note here, nothing to do with stats. How about Rice player names here? Quentin Rampage, obviously not Rampage, but Quentin Jackson is our quarterback. Rampage. And then Dick Man at wide receiver. So one of your favorite wide receivers in the country.
His name is Dick Man?
No, his last name's Dick Man with 2 N's. Dick Man. Oh man. That would be your superhero persona.
Terrence Mann's parents had a chance to do something really great. Richard Mann.
But yeah. So why I'm treating this like an academy game? Rice allows the fewest red zone attempts, 1 per game. And although Navy averages 6 per game, both are in the bottom 7 in tempo in the entire country. Bottom 2, so the worst and second worst in pass attempts per game at 9 and 11.5 respectively. So I expect this game, and Navy has a much stronger affinity of guarding against the triple option. Rice a little. It's a pistol-like triple option. But listen, I could see Navy winning this game 38-0, and we're still getting to the under. Like, I don't think Rice is going to score at all. I know another larger podcast likes Rice's spread, but no thank you. Give me the under, and just don't watch this game.
For sure. There's way better games going on. But okay. That is very sick of you. Very, very sick. Another game, same time slot, 2:30 p.m. Central. UCLA goes on the lake to Evanston to take on Northwestern. And Northwestern is laying 6.5 points, and the over-under is 44.5. This is UCLA's first game after firing Deshaun Foster as their head football coach. Look, Northwestern should not be laying 6.5 points. It's really that simple. I swear, it's really that simple. I don't think they're a terrible team, but I do think they've played some bad football, especially situationally. Preston Stone, their quarterback, throws so many interceptions, dude. He throws so many interceptions. Some of them are his fault. Some of them are off his receiver's hands. It don't matter. He throws a ton of picks. No way can I lay the 6.5 with Northwestern. UCLA could be the only way that I could lean.
Wow. I was going to say, no way I can be holding a UCLA ticket and look in the mirror. Like, if I have another just losing UCLA ticket, like, I might never see myself again with the fear of just catching myself in the mirror and blocking eyes with that pathetic loser that would be betting UCLA.
Sure.
Do we think an under here? 13-6 final?
Oh boy. Do I think an under?
44.5?
No. No, fuck that. I've seen UCLA's defense.
Wow. It's on the lake, Mayor.
No, you're right. Even 24-20 still cashes the under.
Like, the wind is probably going to be crazy.
Couple missed field goals. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably the under.
Let me see if I can find the wind for you real quick. Yep, there it is. Oh, wow. Actually, nothing highly projected. Okay. Maybe it is the over. Boy, that'd be something.
Yeah, it would. Nope, just don't trust Northwestern right now. UCLA plus points for me.
Fair.
And then we have BYU on the road against forgotten, discarded Colorado. All they did was beat Wyoming by 17 last week. No big deal. BYU laying 6.5 points on the road. Over-unders 48.5. What do you think in this game, Burns?
Yeah, this is one of the weirdest games. This is our late game. Unfortunately, I really liked that USC Pac-12 After Dark throwback there, starting at 10 o'clock. So it sucks. Our latest game is 8 Central. Back to Caden Salter. BYU kind of struggled going east, like finishing drives. First kind of not a stumble because they still won convincingly against ECU, but ECU was driving the ball on them. And I think Colorado is a team that is a step above ECU. Crazy to say. But in this spot, at home, how am I not with Dion almost getting a touchdown?
100%, brother. I think you hit the nail on the head. Colorado plus the points, no doubt about it. And for your knowledge, this game starts at 9:15 Central.
Let's go. I just saw that. Thank you for bringing that up.
Yippers.
Yeah, 6.5. Maybe we'll just get a little freaky and add the hook there and parlay him with another team late. Get that full touchdown. Salter, they never should have moved away from him. Maybe they're just protecting him against Houston's defense, to be honest.
Yeah, maybe parlay it. You think South Carolina is going to beat Kentucky this week, or do you think Kentucky is going to give them some spice?
Yeah, that's a game I saw and just kept scrolling by because that's such a weird number, 5.5. Has South Carolina fallen that far already?
They don't look good.
You're 100% right. One thing we didn't cover at the top of the show as well that we should have, especially for Florida State point. Did you see that? Look ahead spots. We've got 3 this week. And Vandy, who we didn't talk about, 70 points last week. Vanderbilt Commodores are in a look ahead spot. Who would have ever thought that?
Nobody.
Versus Utah State, 3 touchdown favorite. They're at Bama next week. So I'm a little concerned about the Commodores. I kind of like that over, but it's pretty high. FSU host the U Saturday night next week. So that helps your point a little bit about, scared about Virginia. And I think that's fair. And forecast next Saturday night, a blizzard anywhere near Michael Irvin for sure.
This fucking guy.
And how about Boise State in the look-ahead spot? Hosting App State. Boise State is a defense that can't stop a cold with over-the-counter medicine, laying over 2 touchdowns, and they go to Notre Dame next week.
Yeah. The thing with me this early on in the season is I just think look-ahead spots are just tougher early on in the year, especially if you have a team coming off a bye. That's just my opinion on it. Look-ahead spots seems to kind of be more of a thing later on in the year when guys are a little bit more tired, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. That Vandy one really scares me because Utah State's, they put up 22 against Texas A&M. They're a feisty team. They play hard for Bronco Mendenhall. I don't think it's a loss as a 3-touchdown favorite, but I think they're going to be agitators for sure.
Definitely. I mean, they have to be decent if the spread's only 21.5 against Vanderbilt, the way that they've been beating everyone by 50.
Yep. Boy, I can't wait for SEC season to start for them. Pavia's ticket just gets sexier and sexier every week.
Yeah, no doubt. So they play Alabama next weekend in Tuscaloosa?
Yep.
Interesting.
Yes, sir. All right. A lot of games. We have 3 more. Leveled it. Got to 1-1 last week. Easy cover. We got 3 MAC games this week. Toledo's back on the schedule. Man, how do I back anything this team produces? Akron, one of the worst passing offenses and defenses. Nice little duo there you never want to see. I'm not sure this team scores a point. Jason Candle's team's off a straight-up loss. That under is hit at like 80%. So it's right at 48. Not really comfortable laying that in this spot. So I like Toledo's team total over 34.5. Eastern Michigan and Central Michigan. Tune into this one, Alex. This is 2 of the worst teams in the entire country. No pressure. Both bottom 10 in sacks. Eastern Michigan made Louisiana, who, by the way, all-time quarterback name, a backup quarterback for Louisiana. His first name is Lunch.
Crazy.
He made their offense come to life, who's one of the worst offenses, and that's a similarity that Central Michigan has not done shit on offense. Louisiana put up 30 last week. Eastern Michigan, they are bottom in every single category on defensive side. Because of that, 54 is way too low. I think they can make anyone look good. I like the over here. And then the final game, BGSU at Ohio, BGSU at Ohio. I like the under here. Both teams pretty good in the stuff rate. I expect both of these teams to really be highly motivated to kind of stamp this game as a defining win for the season in their MAC quest for a MAC championship. So I like a kind of a gritty under game, under 50 and a half.
Nice. Yeah. I mean, you got on the board with a win last week with that Toledo under. Let's see if we can get the wins. The wins keep rolling, baby.
I appreciate that.
Yes, sir.
How about the teaser?
Yeah. Cracker Barrel teaser.
Cracker Barrel teaser of the week, served with hot grits. How about you lead us off this time? Switch up the order since we lost last week.
Yeah, sure. So on the year, we're 1-2, but we're up 3 units. This is a 6.5 point teaser, pays 5-1. My picks: Buffalo at home, disappointing loss last week against Troy. This week they are slight underdogs against UConn, but Buffalo continues to be at home. I'm going to tease them up to 10.5. LSU taking on Ole Miss. We talked about that game. I'm going to tease LSU from +1.5 to +8. And then Cincinnati taking on Kansas. Give me Cincinnati +11 to keep it feisty and maybe even come out of there with a win against Kansas.
I love it. Keeping us honest in the plus category. We're not chasing those minus signs. I really appreciate that. That's a level-headedness that we need in these teasers to hit. I like Ohio State to get over 2. I think they'll win by more than 2. So I think that's a good number. Indiana at Iowa. Again, we're riding Indiana overs for the entire season. As long as they'll give us these prices. Give us over 41. And Eastern Michigan, Central Michigan over. Down to 48. Again, literally just covered it. Don't need to go back into it. I'll take the extra points. Thank you. 2-2 on the season after this week.
That would be awesome. And we would be up 8 units if that's the case.
That's right. Pretty easy math. Let's talk about your dogs, man, to wind this out, because you have an eye on a couple.
Sure. Virginia against Florida State. Does Florida State stink? Maybe.
Whoa.
We'll find out.
Whoa.
Big road test Friday night against Virginia. Upset alert. And Rutgers take it on Minnesota. Remember Minnesota? Remember all that hype? And then they went out to Cal and just laid an egg.
Literally.
Rutgers, their quarterback, he used to play at Minnesota, so it's a revenge game for him. The team's going to want to get up for that game, for their boy. I could see Rutgers winning that game.
That's
for
fair.
Sure.
Any others that you like that maybe didn't make the favorites list?
Yeah, for sure. I like TCU as a small dog. I give Pitt a good shot. I give Cincinnati a good shot. Give UCLA a very good shot against Northwestern.
Awesome.
Iowa could make it weird.
Let's not get crazy.
Right?
All the dogs aren't going to win.
Arizona over Iowa State.
Whoa. Your bias is showing.
Yeah. I'm a huge Arizona guy. That's a good point.
I meant your Iowa hatred. The state. You're a known hater of Iowa, the state.
I just said Iowa over Indiana.
Yeah, Iowa State. It's all right. I'm a bit loopy.
We know.
Okay. All right. I like Pitt. And until Notre Dame can allow less than 30 points to Purdue, this could be a sound the alarm for Notre Dame's season. I like Taylor Green. On the other hand, if Notre Dame wins, all of a sudden Sam Pittman is firmly back on the hot seat. That's crazy. That a few weeks ago we might even be talking about SEC darlings, and now all of a sudden, just brutal.
It is brutal because they were in both games. They should have won both, or they easily could have won both games.
100%. Any sort of? Do you have your lock yet, or any leans or cards you wanted to recount?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Yep. So far, obviously we release our full cards on Friday on that Friday show, and to our Twitter. So always throw a follow and subscribe, please. Which, by the way, might be in a battle here. Wager Talk Last Call apparently is a show as well.
Yeah, Wager Talk Last Call is a show as well. And I saw what you did. All I could do is chuckle. You tweeted at Kelly in Vegas, and you were like, what'd you say? Last call? Where'd you get this from?
I didn't say all that. No,
like Wager Talk took it from us.
You know what? That's how people gain success. They pick off the good ideas from the little guys and just completely ignore them, shove them down. I just put the eyes emoji and said interesting.
They've probably been doing last call for years, and we just started this year.
I know. And it's college football last call live. Thank you very much. I will change it if I have to. But anyway, over 57.5, Florida State, Virginia, Duke -5.5. I like the over in that game at 60 as well. Vanderbilt, Utah State over 59.5. Toledo team total. The Ohio Bowling Green game under. Eastern Michigan, Central Michigan over. Rice Navy under. Over in LSU, Mississippi, Lane Kiffin. It's on you. And then got Auburn +7.5. Not sure if I would buy it, if I would place it at 6.5. I need to be at that 7 number, at least a push situation.
Sure. Yeah, I love it, man. This week of college football is just an insane weekend of just incredible games across the board. It's really, really what it comes down to.
Yep. We got to cook up now that I'm fully acclimated to the YouTube TV situation, we can make any quad box parlay. So that's coming back this week too. We'll just pick a slate offline and we'll get that quad box back.
Sounds good.
Awesome. Anything else?
Get well soon, Mr. Mateer.
Please. Oh,
enjoy the games.
Hold on. I said I had a Ryder Cup parlay. USA plays Europe. If you're unfamiliar with golf, the best event ever created. USA to lift the trophy, -150. Duke Blue Devils, money line. Arkansas State Red Wolves. Red, white, blue. You seeing what I'm going here? -105 money line. New England Patriots money line. That 4-leg parlay for your country pays 6-1.
God bless America. And good night.
USA. Love you.